Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. By the time you're watching this, it is officially June, which means it's time for my May wrap-up video. So first update is going to be my health stuff, which I talked about some in my last video. I was not in the best place at the time. First thing you'll probably notice is that I'm not wearing the brace anymore, which is really exciting. I now only have to wear it a few hours a day just to sort of build up my neck strength so that I can eventually not have to wear it at all anymore. The hope is that the migraines don't come back and that, that was just a one-time thing, a flare-up, because I would really rather not have migraines for 19 days straight ever again. Unfortunately, there's no official diagnosis yet. The MRI that they did was apparently the wrong kind. It was supposed to be a certain kind with like flexion and extension to be able to diagnose for craniocervical instability, which they did not do at the place that I went to. So that's sort of disappointing and kind of a waste of $1,000. I did find out from the MRI that I do not have Chiari malformation, which was sort of the diagnosis that I was hoping for, since that would have meant an easier fix, just like a surgery and like 3 months of recovery and then most likely a reduction of symptoms. But no such luck. The problem is looking like it's a lot more based on instability. I did decide to hold off on getting the actual correct MRI until I talked with my EDS specialist on the 19th, because I would much rather talk to her than the other doctor who just didn't want to listen to me. Yeah, I'm gonna see what she has to say, probably end up getting another MRI at some point, and possibly a full spine MRI, because now knowing that I don't have Chiari, which would have explained my leg symptoms, it's much more likely that that's being caused by my low back issues, because I've been having lumbar pain for over 17 years now. That's caused a whole host of issues with sciatica and my feet being numb at night, and lately I've had to sleep on my stomach to be able to, just to sort of decompress my spine. So until then, I just have to wear my brace if my neck gets really bad and hope that I don't need fusion, because I really don't want fusion. That's really something I don't want. But also, if that is the best thing, then I want to find that out so that I can get on with my life and not just keep being in this place of limbo and just wanting there to be an answer and a way to get rid of this pain. Just taking it one day at a time and trying to be patient, which is not one of my strong suits. So other updates for May, my goals for last month were basically to try and schedule a writing meetup with a friend of mine, which we did, and we had a great time. We both made some pretty good progress on our stories, and it did get me a little bit excited about this story idea. Not fully to the point where I can just sit down and write it yet, but I'm getting there little by little, and I'm at least wanting to spend time thinking about the story, and it doesn't hurt my brain to think like it used to. So I have refined my outline a little bit, which was one of my goals, and I did some much needed research that filled in a lot of holes in my story. I wasn't able to read any of my books on my TBR shelf. I just couldn't bring myself to read, but I read a couple of webtoons, and for some reason that just felt easier on my brain. I don't know. That leads me to my plans for June. Originally, I had a lot of goals toward getting myself ready for Camp NaNoWriMo, but that included finding and reaching out to ghostwriters. And unfortunately, my husband lost his job, and it's really just not in the budget for us right now. So that's on hold until he gets a job again. It is still something that I'd like to do, but it's going to be put off a little bit longer. I can be patient. In the meantime, I have been sort of playing around with the idea of picking up another project that I've sort of abandoned for a while, which is a musical theater adaptation of Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. So that's a project that I've been really excited about. Actually, tomorrow from when I'm filming this, it probably already happened by the time this video comes out, a friend of mine's coming over and I'm going to bounce ideas off of her and sort of get the ball rolling with that and see how invested I am in actually taking the next few steps with that project. Other goals for June, I would like to actually pick up and read a book, maybe just one. I'm holding myself only to one. I may read more if I'm feeling inspired after the first one, because that seems to be how it always happens, is I wait for a million years, read one book, and then I read every book that I own. I want to read the next book on my TBR, and then I'm going to increase my exercise. Our pool just opened, so I'm going to start being able to do some really good exercise for my joints. That's going to be a little easier on me than going to the gym. And I want to work on healthier meals and also on better grocery budget planning. Especially with my husband having lost his job, we're trying to be really careful about how we meal plan and reusing ingredients, making things spread a little bit further, finding ways to use things that we already have. And so I'm just really wanting to get better at that, and in doing that I really want to work on finding ways to make less calorically dense meals, just so that they are more filling with fewer calories. That's about it for this month. I will be back next month to talk about how my other appointments went and what else I was able to get done. If you feel like it, obviously, once again, you don't have to, but if you would like to, I do have a link in the description for donations for medical bills. It's been a little bit rough just being on only my income, which is barely enough to cover our bills and not really enough to cover anything else. I would like to, at some point when I'm feeling better, open up commissions of some kind. I have no idea yet what I'll be doing. I've played around with the idea of crochet, but we'll see what ends up happening. Also, if anyone is in need of world building, for whether that's for a story or for a tabletop RPG game or anything like that, my husband has opened up a Fiverr gig for world building, and he does all kinds of stuff. The gig is specifically for describing a location or a setting, but he has played around with the idea of doing all kinds of stuff, and whatever you need, you can just reach out to him and he can set up a individual gig. He can do maps, he can do languages and designing races and cultures and whatever it is that you need. Just send him a message and he can give you an estimate on what that will cost. Anyway, let me know what you guys are working on in the comments, and I'll see you next month.